بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون. كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا لنخرج به حبا ونباتا وجنات ألفافا إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا وفتحت السماء فكانت أبوابا. صدق الله العظيم.
Was great recitation from the Al-Quran. I would like to invite Brother Dr. Kasuri in our stage. He is the Vice President in Downtown Islamic Center, also Khatib, Greater Chicago Land Area. Brother Kasuri. I would like to invite Brother Akhtarullah, President of MunaChicago chapter. Brother Akhtarullah. I would like to request Brother Shariful Islam Lalu, Vice President of Muna North Zone. Brother Shariful Islam Lalu. I also would like to request Brother Maulana Abdullah Muhammad Shubli, Vice President, MunaChicago. Brother Abdullah Muhammad Shubli. Then we have all our guests on the stage. Brother Akhtarullah, President of MunaChicago. I'd like to request for his opening speeches. Brother Akhtarullah.
Allahu Akbar kabira, alhamdulillahi kaseera, subhanallahi bukratan asila, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba ala alladzina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Dear brothers and sisters, guests, youth, young sister of Muna parents, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Beginning of the program, I would like to let me recite one ayah from Surah Al-A'raf, verses of 2 of 4. وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. When Quran is being recited, please keep quiet and listen to it. You may receive mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a demand from Allah. So please be quiet, my humble request. We will be hearing from our guest speaker, available speech, spiritual speech, inshallah. I'd like to thank you all organizers, sponsors, volunteers, You did hard work to organize this program. Inshallah. One more thing, I like to say we will have we had one segment already gone, which is youth program. Now, adult program will be going on, inshallah. First segment, I hope all of you enjoy. All kids, all youth, everybody did excellent job. So right now, we will be hearing from our guest speaker about welcoming Ramadan. Ahlan sahlan Ramadan, inshallah. One more thing, I recited Surah Al-Baqarah verses 183, which means, O believers, Ramadan has prescribed upon you, as it was prescribed those before you, you may receive taqwa. Inshallah, our guest speaker, they will be talking about Ramadan, how to get taqwa and what need to do, what to do not need to do, inshallah. My humble request to all of you, can we commit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this Ramadan to next Ramadan? Can we ask myself, inshallah, I will do 5 good amal. And can we pledge to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I will do 5 bad amal, I will get rid of from my life from this Ramadan to next Ramadan, inshallah. If so, please make a list accordingly. Last thing, may Allah give us tawfiq, may Allah give us all kind of courage to do good deeds and all kind of courage to do good activities in all our life. And inshallah, all over the world, injustice is going on. Please speak out, inshallah. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا ووفقنا اجتنابه. Oh Allah, show us truth, what is truth. Oh Allah, show us falsehood, what is falsehood, and try to get rid of falsehood, and please give us the tawfiq to be in right path. If I do any mistake in this program, if we do any mistake in this program, please forgive us. May Allah forgive us. One more thing, tag question to all of you, please, brother. Do you like this kind of program? If so, please, we need your support and go on, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Now, I would like to request Brother Kasauddin, Vice President and Founder of Islamic Center, and to give his valuable speech on Ramadan.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulil Kareem. Dear brothers and sisters and young children, assalamu alaikum. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be here and speak to you about the month of Ramadan. And you gave me this opportunity the last year and the year before also. And when I see this community, Muslim Ummah of North America, holding a regular Welcome Ramadan program, that is a very special. It is so heartening to see young children dressed up nicely and talking about Islam, talking about Ramadan, talking about fasting. It's as if a very special month is coming. A very special occasion is coming and we are ready to welcome it. Alhamdulillah, that's how it should be. And although, when other people, non-Muslims, think about Muslims fasting for 30 years, they say, what? Are you really going to fast for 30 days? Especially in these hot summer days, when you have to start to fast about 3:30 in the morning and don't get to eat or drink until 8:30 at night. They don't believe it. And when we tell them that not only we adults observe the fast, but our children also observe the fast, and when we tell them that children are not really required to fast until they come to the age of maturity, they are not really required to fast. But how many of you parents can tell me that your children have not requested you, pleaded with you that they want to fast? And nobody believes. The little children will start to ask their parents, plead with their parents to fast. So there must be something really special about Ramadan, which we understand and which we believe and others do not understand. Alhamdulillah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran al-Majid, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم وإن كنتم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defines the month of Quran, introduces the month of Quran by saying that this is the month in which Quran was revealed. This is very special to us to know. When we talk about Ramadan, we first talk about fasting. Of course, the fasting of this month is made obligatory on us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ وَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصُمْ. That whoever has witnessed this month must fast. So we know that. That's one of the requirements that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has on us. But why is this month the month chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for fasting? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is the month in which He revealed Quran. Similarly, if you go to Laylatul Qadr, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about Laylatul Qadr? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. That indeed we have revealed this book in Laylatul Qadr. So in Laylatul Qadr, there is a very special night, which is better than 1,000 months, as we just learned our children tell us. Is also introduced by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying that this is the night in which Quran was revealed. So Quran is the major theme over here. And Ramadan is such a special time that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and many ahadith have described the blessings of Ramadan. Right? And very sahih hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, in this month, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens the gates of paradise and closes the gates of Jahannam. And He changed the shayateen. Can we witness that the shayateen are indeed changed in this month? Yes, we can. We can feel that, right? Every masjid is full of people. Other months they do not come. In the month of Ramadan, even after fasting the whole day and after breaking the fast at sunset, they do not relax at home, they do not take a nap, they rush back to the masjid for Tarawih prayer. So at Fajr time, at other times where the jobs will allow them to go to the masajid, you will see the masajid are full. All over the world. What better proof do you need that shaitan is really changing this month? That all the disturbances and distractions that shaitan can cause are gone. So people feel more inclined to go to the masajid. So very special month. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that this is the month, if you perform a nafil act in this month, that means a non-compulsory act, something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not required you to do. Like for example, give $1 to somebody on the street who is needy, and you do that. That particular act of yours, which is completely voluntary, you didn't have to do it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not ask you to do it, but you did it, and you get your reward for it. But in the month of Ramadan, if you did the same act, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you as if you performed a compulsory act, like salat, like song. And not only that, then what about the third act? What about fasting? What about the prayers? If you perform the same things in the month of Ramadan, what do you get? Rasulullah has said that you get 70 times the reward doing it in the month of Ramadan compared to doing it in others. Now this reminds me that it is such a special blessing that people must be rushing to the month of Ramadan and waiting for the month of Ramadan. Just like you are waiting in the month of Ramadan, this is a really good act to do. Now, do we do it in other things? Let us compare. You are all familiar with Black Friday, right? Right? Who doesn't know Black Friday? It's the Friday after Thanksgiving. And why do we know about it? Why do we know Black Friday? Because all the merchants have that day set aside to start the shopping season, and they give some special deals on that day to get you into their stores. You might be able to buy a TV at half price. You might be able to buy a video camera for half price. And when you go to rush to the store to find out, you see that there were limited quantities and they ran out. And similarly, the day after Christmas, the day after New Year's, how many specials are announced? 70% off, 60% off, 80% off. Christmas decorations that you will not need, or you will never need it. Like the Christians who celebrate Christmas, they won't need it for one more year, but they will rush to buy those things at 80% off so they can keep it, store it, and use it next year. How many of you have personally experienced this type of special deal shopping? I'm sure some of you have. I did once. I don't know what, I saw, I think I remember what it was. It was a step ladder. A 6-foot step ladder that usually sells for $80, and they had it on sale for something like $20 with some coupons and so on and so forth. I said, this is an excellent deal, I have to do it. And I think it was the Menard store, and I went to the store on Oakton Avenue in Nice. I want to tell you my experience, and I'm sure you may have the same experience. So I let drive in, and it was early, because I wanted to get there early so there was no run out of the ladder that I want to buy. So I went there early. The whole parking lot was full. And they had an annex parking lot far away from the entrance to the store. And there were some parking spaces available over there. So I had to go park over there and walk all the way to the store. And when I go to the store, of course I was going to buy land, right? I was in a car to carry it. No cars available. There were absolutely no shopping carts available for me to put the ladder in. I looked all around. Even people who were done shopping, I thought I would grab one of the cards from them. There was a line of people standing to pick up the card when the other people would leave and take it. And what a scene. There were other people who did not have shopping carts either. You know what they were doing? They had big cardboard boxes. The stores had empty boxes over there. And they were putting their stuff in big cardboard boxes and then pushing them along the floor to get to the checkout counter so that they can get it. And what is the good deal? If I was going to buy a ladder $80 was for $20, how much discount was I getting? I was getting a discount of by a factor of 4, right? Something that I had to pay $80, I was going to be able to get it for $20. Okay? Now compare that to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is offering. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is offering in the month of Ramadan. That you make one prayer in the month of Ramadan. You get how much? Not 4 times, not 5 times, but you get 70 times the reward. And no wonder that we wait for the month of Ramadan. And we are ready to welcome the month of Ramadan for all the special deeds that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala offers in the month of Ramadan. I want to tell you the special connection, as I hinted before, between the month of Ramadan and the Quran. So we should know, as long as we are welcoming the month of Ramadan, we should know how best to welcome it.
Okay, stand back.
Now, can the children please sit down? Probably very difficult for them to understand. They've not done shopping yet. Otherwise, they would have known. Right? So, how do you welcome the month of Ramadan? Of course, we have a program here and there. So, when Ramadan actually arrives, what should you be doing in the month of Ramadan in order to derive the maximum benefit out of it? As I told you, Ramadan has a very special relationship with the Quran.
If you don't sit down and behave, you're not going to get any profit of it. So please sit down and listen to the Quran.
So there is a very special relationship between Ramadan and Quran. Alright, please settle down. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, I defined the month of Ramadan by saying this is the month in which Quran was revealed. And what is Quran? Quran is guidance for mankind. Quran is not something to be put away, to be respected, to be wrapped up in nice cover, and once in a while touch it and kiss it and put it away. Quran is a book from which you see guidance. And how do you get guidance from the Quran? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed one more condition. It is a guidance for mankind. That means everybody can get guidance from it. But there is a precondition. We all know the Surah Al-Baqarah first ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in there, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. There Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ. There Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. That this is a book of guidance for people who have taqwa. No wonder we see that a lot of non-Muslims also read Quran. They have good scholarship in Arabic language. They speak Arabic language better than us do. And they understand Quran better than we do. But they are not blessed with the guidance. They remain Christian or they remain Jewish. And they will know more about Quran than you and I will know. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this is the book from which Muttaqeen can derive guidance. You know why? Because if you approach Quran like any other book, you would want to see a nice table of contents. You would want to see the first chapter, what deals with it, second chapter, what deals with it, third chapter, fourth chapter, and then conclusion. You approach Quran from that point of view, you will not find it. You will not find Quran organized in that way. It is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has organized it. And you got to get guidance from it the way He wants you to get guidance. You got to approach from a belief, from a strong belief in your heart that this is the book that is guidance for me. This is the book based upon which I will decide what is the right path and what is the wrong path. This is the book that I will use as a criterion if I have a dispute with my brother, if I have a dispute from my wife, if I have a dispute with my children. How do I settle that dispute? Not because, I am the husband, you have to listen to what I'm telling you. I am the father, you have to listen to what I'm telling you. No. You go back to Quran and see what you are arguing about. And based upon the Quran, who is right and who is wrong. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. Quran is the criterion. Quran is the criterion based upon which you settle your disputes. So how do you get all this from the Quran if you don't even understand it? If you don't know Arabic, you have an excuse. Like, I don't know Arabic, I did not learn Arabic, how do I get the guidance? But that excuse has been erased by ulama for centuries. They have translated Quran in Urdu, in English, in Bengali, in whatever language you want, the translations are available. And there are multiple translations available. So when the month of Ramadan is approaching, have you looked at your inventory of Quran in your home? What do you do for getting ready for the month of Ramadan? You see, okay, I will need dates to break my fast, right? So you go to the grocery store, buy a box of dates, a little carton of dates, so that you will be ready to break your fast. I'm asking you, are you going to be ready to receive guidance from Quran in the month of Ramadan? Do you have the book that you can read, that you can understand? Do you have a copy of the Quran with translation in the note? Do you have a copy of the Quran that you can understand? If not, should you not be going to the store and picking up a copy of the Quran? Should you not be going to the store to pick up a copy of the Quran that explains to you getting ready for the month of Ramadan, whereas we make sure that we have enough food, enough dates, enough vegetables, pakoras, I don't know, every culture has special meals that they prepare in the month of Ramadan, right? And you make sure that all those ingredients are available in the home so that you are ready to take your fast. I'm asking, if this is the month of Quran, if this is the month in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to derive guidance, that's why He has said that you must fast, and if you fast you achieve taqwa, which is a prerequisite for understanding the Quran. So you should think, am I prepared to receive guidance from Quran in this month? Do I have a book? Do I have two translations? Do I have an interpretation of the Quran that can sit down and read so that I can derive guidance from you. So, my dear brothers and sisters, please make that a priority in this month of Ramadan. Okay, there's still few days left. You still have time to go to the shop. In Diwan shopping center where you go for grocery shopping, has a couple of Islamic bookstores, not a couple of there are several bookstores now. Go and look up the copies of the Quran available over here. I'm telling you, it will not cost you any more than a box of cookies. But it will go a long way towards fulfilling your dream of achieving guidance in the Quran in this life. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made fasting compulsory in the month of Ramadan, so that as you fast, you achieve taqwa, which is a prerequisite to understanding the Quran. So the whole plan is laid out for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's just a matter of us getting. It is not enough to listen to Quran in the Quran. It is not enough to simply read the Quran from cover to cover in any way. I'm not saying don't do it. Do it because you will get the rewards, you will get the blessings for it. But the requirement is that you understand and you get guidance from it so that you can put it into practice. So, my special request to each one of you for this month of Ramadan is to make sure that you have a good copy of the Quran with translation that you can understand. If you do not have it, please go to the store and pick up a copy. Maybe Muna can get a whole bunch of Bengali translations and make them available to you at cost. You can get a bulk purchase to get a discount. But this is what is needed. So let us pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to live through it. It's still 4 or 5 days. We don't know who is going to be living in the month of Ramadan, alright? But we hope and pray that we live long enough to see the month of Ramadan. And then we hope and pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides us to spend it in the way which is the most likable to him. That He blesses us with the guidance from the Quran and blesses us with all the blessings of the month of Ramadan.
Having Kaisuddin here. I always listen to his khutbah in Dr. Islamic Center, and Alhamdulillah, he has a wonderful way to capture people's attention. Of course, that people are not included, she's not included in the people. My dear brothers and sisters, we are here actually to get benefit from these wonderful speeches from this brother that we have. But we need your help actually to somehow control our kids so everybody can be benefited from the lectures. Our next speaker, our dear brother Ahmed Adams. Ahmed Adams is involved in many community activities, and one of his wonderful service to our community is the halal product. He is one of the founders of his halal movement. And Brother Ahmed Adams actually recognized globally as an expert on halal product and food and services. I would ask Brother Ahmed Adams to come and give us a little some lessons so we can take home for our Ramadan preparation. Brother Ahmed Adams.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear my brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. honor to be before you this evening, and it does show that this community is alive. Because the challenges are many. The tests are great. In many ways, our children are big tests. Sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, houses, money, health, back home connections is a big challenge. Longing for the way we were raised is a challenge. Being a minority in such a large superpower context is a big challenge. And however, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator of all time, all places, all creatures, the universe. And part of our iman that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew this community will exist in Chicago as a minority community, and the time for Ramadan has come. Let me take you on a different journey and give you a different perspective. Inshallah, the brother will left me nothing to talk about in terms of becoming righteous and doing all the ibadat. But we all know, and maybe I need to cut my speech a little bit like I did at Islamic Center of Neighborhood 2 weeks ago. The kids, the small children, were in the Jum'ah prayer. And they distracted me as a khatib and distracted everybody in the congregation. And we need to understand that there are teachings of our Sharia how to deal with this situation. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, teach your children salah at the age of 7. Any child under 7, they are not qualified, they don't comprehend. By design, they are made to play. That's why we need in our activities, we need to understand that for the adults to benefit, we need to organize ourselves. From Jum'ah to Fard, in the masjid, and so forth. And here we are. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Ramadan for one significant purpose. At-taqwa. So Ramadan, this entire effort is to gain taqwa. Imagine the following. Ramadan is a summer divine college. It's a crash course. It only comes once every year. You sign up with your niyyah and you prepare your consciousness because you need to recognize, as the hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. This hadith is agreed upon, متفق عليه. If you fast Ramadan with belief and that you will be rewarded, you will be forgiven your sins. How do we believe? I mean, we all know that when Ramadan comes, we have to fast. Did you know that Siyam Ramadan is the 4th pillar of Islam? Can you imagine now, as you start Ramadan, your consciousness, I am about to establish the 4th pillar of Islam. It's a college, 30 days or 29 days. And the Prophet ﷺ taught us about Eid. Who knows what did the Prophet ﷺ to say about Eid al-Fitr? The day of what? Anybody knows? He said it's the day of Al-Jaiza. Jaiza means reward. The day of reward. Now we have tournaments here. Just imagine the day of Eid. Those who fasted Ramadan will get a tournament. We get a prize. That's why the Muslim has two happy times. One at the time we break the fast, and another time we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This month, he has all kinds of activities. Now we will start with a suhoor. Many people disregard the suhoor. And the Prophet ﷺ says, as-suhoor, what is the suhoor? As-suhoor barakah. As-suhoor barakah. Now I want to take you with this training college designed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you sign up for. You want to take it on. The first night you start the Taraweeh. And then you go after the suhoor. And in the process, you start changing your lifestyle. What are you used to do now after Isha will change. There's a week. So therefore, this course is to change your lifestyle, to change your attitude, to change how you value time. Time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. And the day that passed by, it will never ever come back. So as you start progressing, when you do suhoor, you are ready for Fajr. Those who sleep and do not do Fajr on time, let alone go into the masjid at Fajr time, this is the season for you to change your attitude. This is the season to change your lifestyle. This is the season to recognize your obligation that you have to walk to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, we have masajid. We fight big time to raise money and big masajid. What for? If we do not fulfill that, the needs of the masjid, that's the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's not your house of mom. You have standards at home. You have standards in your home. Your father or your parents and so forth. And the house of Allah has different standards. Can you imagine the malaika come to the Fajr and they do the Salah, and if you become a regular Musalli, and one day you miss, the malaika will go out to search for you, to look for you. The malaika will miss you. Can you imagine this? So we have Fajr in the masjid. There's no breakfast. It's a lifestyle change. It's a habit change. It points out, look out what you eat, how much you eat, when you eat, what you should do and what you should not do. Look at the beauty of Siyam. There are things to be done on the inside. And I'm here trying to simplify as much as I possibly can in order to really connect with the power of the Siyam. You need it. Did you know that your hands fast, your ears fast, your eyes fast, your tongue fast, your legs fast? Can you speak that language while you're fasting in Ramadan? Just like Hajj. You have to have integrity. You have to build honor for your Siyam. You refrain from what you are used to in talking. Your narrative has to change. The words you use must change. So Siyam starts affecting you. by pointing out your deficiencies and my deficiencies. We are used to loud voices, getting angry at this and that, but when Ramadan comes, while fasting, subhanAllah, things started to change. And that's why it's a process. It means almost, Allah knows best, it takes 1 month to change a habit. It takes 1 month to change a habit. Sisters, please keep quiet. There is a simple solution, very simple. Those who are not interested, they can always leave and talk outside, so they can enjoy their talk and let us enjoy ours. Is that enough? So this month is a month of change. And also, please, try to remember what you did last Ramadan. How much Quran did you recite? Especially sisters, and the problem is also contributed by the brothers. How much time you spend in the kitchen to prepare food? So much food. Why? After the iftar, we're going to waste too much time cleaning up. That doesn't mean we don't eat. We don't invite. But we need to change. Because the value of time in Ramadan, we cannot have a price tag on it. How about when you start recognizing the needy? You know, there's a beautiful concept. You know, this program really needed a babysitter service outside for the kids, because you can spend all night trying to quiet them, and it's just their nature. They like to laugh and enjoy and play. The need and the way to see it is the following. When you walk into a masjid, you put your hand in your pocket, and those who are really conscious, they come from home with a check or cash to deposit in a sadaqah box. Right? Do you really think the masjid needs that money? Or you need to give the masjid? Allah needs you, or you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you see a poor person, or you know back home an orphan, and you want to send money, do you think that orphan is in need of you? We are in need of orphans. We are desperate to have a scheme. We are desperate to serve a scheme. It works like this. It is not the status of the recipient. It is the status of the giver. If you give because you're generous, it doesn't mean the recipient needs it or doesn't. The recipient is worth it or not, deserves it or not. We worry so much about this. 3 years ago, I was invited to a church in Villa Park on what they call the National Prayer Day. They had a priest, they had a Hacham or a Jewish rabbi, and I was the Muslim there. And a host of Christians in the church. And everybody was supposed to give a reflection on their religion, how the prayer works. And when you really want to engage others in the thinking process, and the beauty of our deen, it doesn't tell you what to think, it tells you how to think. Our deen challenges your intellect It takes you لعلهم يتفكرون لعلهم يتذكرون لعلهم يعقلون لعلهم يسمعون لعلهم يبصرون. It changes the way you think. That's the power of our deen. Otherwise, it tells us what to do and that's the end of it. No more thinking. So I introduced the idea of how Islam really interacts with people, not on the status quo, which means you are only given if you are needy. So Sahih al-Bukhari, the story goes that this man really said, tonight I will give a sadaqah that nobody knows except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even his left hand was challenged not to know how much. So he went out in the streets in this little town and he gave the sadaqah. What happened? The next morning, everybody knew everybody else, and last night a thief was given sadaqah. He said, SubhanAllah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I gave a thief a sadaqah. He said, I will try another night. The second night, he went out, saw this woman in a deserted area, he gave her sadaqah. The second morning, they said, in town, last night, a bad woman was given sadaqah. He said, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I failed twice. The third time, he said, no, that's it. The third time is the time. He went out past midnight and he looked at this man and he said, he gave him the sadaqah. The second morning, the crowd said, last night, a wealthy man was given sadaqah. This man became almost insane. Ya Allah, I really wanted to give some needy with taqwa and poor person. And the man spoke and told him Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted something else to happen for the thief so he can stop what he's doing, for the bad woman so she can stop doing what she does, and for the wealthy he does not give zakat so he can be taught. And indeed those changes took place, because the wealthy man said, how come? I don't need. Well, I should be the one who's given. And that's why when we do sadaqah with sincerity and you earn it from halal, it will always fall in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never underestimate $1, 1 penny fi sabilillah. And if you don't have, smile. If you don't have, keep silent. Pray. There are so many things we do in this month that we are highly rewarded for. But it is an action, a way of change. Remember last year, what you did at Iftar, what you did in the first 10 days, the second 10 days. How about the last 10 days? How much nafil did you do? How much remembrance you have done of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because we need to differentiate between dhikr and tasbih. Who knows what's the difference between dhikr and tasbih? When you do tasbih, you say Subhanallah, right? When you make dua, there is a need behind that dua. But the dhikr has no need behind it. When you say Alhamdulillah, when you glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sake of glorifying Allah, there is no need. You did not ask Him for children, for money, for health, for having a degree. You say Alhamdulillah, you're praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why in the process of the month of Ramadan, it's a month of change on the inside and on the outside. Watch out for your regular habits and compare it in Ramadan. If we keep doing the same thing, and the worst of all, if we finish Ramadan and we have not gained change, these are signs of acceptance from Allah Azza wa Jal or non-acceptance. So if you want to plan before this month that, Ya Allah, I want to make changes in my life, in my habits, in my lifestyle, with my family and friends. If you have friends that waste too much time on Facebook, on this and on that, chit-chat, gossip, and so forth, and you make an effort to remind them, for the sake of Allah, to change that habit, you will be rewarded without any diminishing ajr of the one who is receiving that advice. And that's why Ramadan is a collective effort. Ramadan is a collective effort. Finally, you know, the Sahaba taught us that volunteerism, to volunteer and do service, fi sabilillah, should not be bragged about. It's part of our deen. I am sure the brothers who organized this didn't get paid, or did you? Volunteers. You volunteer. Make your intention to do free work fi sabilillah in this Ramadan. Pick up a project, make it collective, get your kids engaged, have a family project, fi sabilillah. This is how we can change. And instead of having it, just to have it, every year the same, every year the same. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our shortcomings. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this Ramadan is the best of all Ramadans we've ever had. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the Quran, guide us, forgive our shortcomings, protect our children, protect our schools and institutions, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us Jannah al-Firdaus. Allahumma ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barik ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.
Jazakallahu khairan, Brother Ahmed Adam. This welcome Ramadan didn't happen in a day. We had to take days and months of preparation for this. The little kids, the children, everyone has given their time, their passion to learn the new song and grammar. The young Muslim Ummah of Chicagoland, they have written dramas and songs which are recited and done today in a very beautiful way, which is a very significant for our society, how they are going at, and also they are becoming a part of our society in a bigger way. Now there is the big occasion for the prize giving. I would like to request if there is any question for Brother Ahmed, we may ask it, and we are requesting any question if there is any for the next 5 minutes. Any question on Ramadan, today's lecture? From brother side, from sister side? Okay, now
we can ask them questions. If they don't have questions,
if you do not have any question, then we can ask you questions. No questions from inside? Okay, kids, now the prime time for you to get the prizes. I would like to ask Brother Mobul Ali to come to the stage, please. Brother Mobul Ali. Brother Samsul Tushar, please come to the stage. Brother Dr. Girash, please join us on the stage. And Brother Jashinuddin, please come to the stage. Brother Jashinuddin, senior.
actually intend to speak anything. Since I got the mic, I would like to ask few things. As Brother Ahmed reminded us that this is the month the month of Ramadan, where we can make changes in our life, and we have few more days actually to make plan how to make this change happen in our life. He also mentioned few things. One of the things was donating generously. So this is one point I would like to remind everyone, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, there are volunteers who took care of many of these functions, and there are also costs associated with this function. I will humbly request everyone, please donate generously so we can continue having this type of program throughout the year. Jazakallah khairan.